And so for today's discussion, I'm bringing in a friend, Lacey G, who is going to explain this one between if you're walking through the woods, would you rather run into a bear or a man? And I'm amazed at how many people are making the case that they would rather run into a bear. And this has sort of morphed into a critique of feminism, would you say? Lacey, how would you describe this?
Well, I think it's more hearing the message of what women have to say, because this man asked a woman on the street, posed the question, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? And this video was viewed more than 17 million times, and 7 out of 8 women said they'd pick the bear. And now men are mad at this response, but I think maybe they're not hearing what the women are saying. Because some women are saying that they choose the bear because they don't know the man in question. This is just a random man. You don't get to pick and choose. It's not my cousin, not my father, not anything. So someone said it's unpredictable what a strange man could do. That's more frightening than being alone with a predictable wild animal.
Yeah, but the thing that we can predict the bear do is kill you and eat you.
Maybe, but not necessarily. You can also get away from a bear, and that's the debate. Someone said the worst thing a bear can do is kill me, but a bear doesn't get the enjoyment out of it, and that the bear sees me as a human being.
Don't you think your odds of being eaten and consumed by a man are less than that of a bear?
Sure, but I'm not talking about being eaten and consumed by a man, though. I'm talking about the threat that a random man could do to you. I'm not talking any man, but if you just pose the question of it being a man that you don't know and don't get to choose versus a bear, then would you trust yourself? Would you trust a strange man with yourself or with your daughter, with your wife? That's kind of the question. Liliana Wild on TikTok posed the question to her husband, and he had similar response.
All right, let's play this then.
If I were alone in the woods, would you rather me encounter a bear or a man?
I mean, is it a friendly man?
We don't know anything else. It's just man or bear.
I feel more like bear. I don't know, because I feel like I would know what the outcome would be with a bear, even if it was like an aggressive one. I don't know what the outcome would be with like a bad man.
Yeah.
So I think I'd lean more toward a bear. I mean, both situations, I guess you hope for a good man and a good bear.
Yeah.
But I think you're more likely to anticipate what a bear would do than what a man would do.
Is there any other demographic you can slander this hard and still pretend like it's a rational argument?
This is just a general consensus that women and men are giving in general. It's not pointed towards one person or another. It's just a blanketed statement of, would you a strange man or a bear that you could hopefully get away from and end this without any kind of injury?
Okay, so if a bear, encountering a bear just randomly unknown in the forest, if that's not as bad as a man, is there anything that is bad as men? What would you rather run into in the woods that would, or a man? What would you rather run into the woods less than a man? How about that?
I'd be safe. I know that I can be safe on my own. I'd prefer not to be out in nature anyway, running into men or bears. I think that's the safe answer. I'm not against men, not by any means, but this debate really sparked a lot of interest on social media, and it's because why women are answering this way. Such as Colleen Easley on TikTok says that men are now giving the same answer and saying, well, I'd rather a bear than a woman in the woods.
Oh, I'm not giving that answer.
She gives a very good reason, and it's because men are given that reason for a very different, they're given that answer for a different reason.
All right, well, let's listen to her then.
Women will do things in response to the harm that y'all do, and then y'all want to get vindictive and say, well, we can do that too, and y'all don't really have a real reason to do it. It's just because we did it and it bothers y'all. And notice the difference of reasonings. We're talking about being assaulted and brutalized by men, whereas y'all are talking about not wanting to be stuck in the woods with a woman that would use you for your money. Do we see the difference there? I did a video recently talking about how you should basically be doing background reports on people that you're dating, because I want to know if you got a long, lengthy criminal history or if you hiding a wife with kids. The things that y'all are worried about when it comes to us is not violence. Y'all are worried about body counts. Y'all are worried about whether a woman has kids or not. Y'all are worried about not getting used for your money. All non-life threatening things. I'm trying to figure out what your criminal record is because I don't want to be in a relationship with a domestic abuser and you're just worried about how many people I slept with because you think if I slept with too many people, my value has gone down. Do you see the difference of importance of what we look for in each other?
All right, I appreciate her attitude, but I wouldn't be more scared of a woman than a bear. I'd be much happier to run into a female than a bear. So she's not even arguing against me. I think it's ridiculous to think a woman would be more dangerous than a bear. So whoever made that argument is ridiculous. But also whoever made the argument that a man is more dangerous than a bear is ridiculous too. And it's absurd. And I understand like we should pay attention and analyze why. Why would all these women be saying this? Because it is a concern of mine. My answer is different though. My answer is you have been trained to hate men, to be fearful of men. Men are toxic. Men are violent. Men are going to abuse you or rape you or do all of these things, and the whole world is set up in a patriarchal system that is only meant to keep you down, and this is one of the guys that's executing the plan.
Disagree. It is making the statement to be aware. You don't have to fear everybody, and not everybody is a bad person, but this has made women start to speak out on not getting justice before in the past, on not being heard. One of the comments said, at least if a bear attacked me and I told people, they would believe me. And that is a very sad response.
Yes, because there's not a long history of women lying about bear attacks.
Okay. And there's not a long history of men taking advantage of women and getting away with it.
Oh, huge history of it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a silly debate.
All right. Well, thank you very much. What is your thoughts? This has been Lacey G, keeping an eye on the social media trends for us. Thank you, Miss G. Where can they find you online?
Lacey G 13.
You don't want to brag about your Taylor Swift podcast success?
I have a Taylor Swift fan podcast. If you would like to listen, 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. And just by the way, if you ever do encounter a bear, this is what you're supposed to do. It's recommended if it's a brown bear to play dead, and if it's a black bear to escape or try to fight back by kicking and punching the bear in the face. So just be safe in all areas in general.
That is solid advice. Thank you very much, Lacey G.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, your thoughts. Would you rather, if you were in the woods, would you rather run into a man or a bear? And why are so many people saying bear? What lesson do we, because I'm open to that. Lacey's right. What lesson do we need to learn here? Because something's going on, because that's not a rational answer. There is something to say about, hey, we need to analyze why women are saying this. However, when I analyze why women are saying this, it's because they've been trained to hate men. It's just been a solid stream of man hate. Men are dangerous. Men are evil. Men are toxic. And I don't know. Are they not aware of bears? You know, bears eat human beings. Bears kill human beings. And I realize more humans are killed by men every year than bears. Yeah, but I mean, when you take into the number of encounters, like per encounter, you're far more likely to survive a man than a bear. This is a really irrational argument, I thought, but there's a lot of people who are still saying bear. What say you? 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. I mean, seriously, truly, does anybody think that running into a bear is less dangerous than running into a random man? Does anybody really think that, or are they just saying that to try and further the narrative of how evil men are? I don't know. Ken and Bowie, you're on the James Show. What do you think?
Hey, good afternoon, James. Thanks for taking my call. I'll be quick because you probably have other callers.
Yep.
In the early 80s, I was camping in the high Sierras just up above Kennedy Meadows, and I went out for a hike in the afternoon, and I came up on a bear, a brown bear in the woods there. And, I mean, we were face to face. We were probably 10 or 15 feet apart. But he looked at me, and he stood up, and he was just gigantic. And then it was like forever. He looked at me and then got back down on all fours and walked away. Why he didn't kill me, I don't have a clue. But I'm telling you, anybody that would rather be in the bear with the woods rather than a man is an absolute idiot.
Agreed. I agree. That's why it's so confounding that there's even a debate to be had. Because now the debate is, how far can you slander men and have people go, oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah, men are that bad. Men are so bad. They're worse than a bear. I'm worse than a bear. Screw you. This argument, it's kind of insulting. Gilbert in Roanoke, you're on the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. What do you think?
Thank you for taking my call. I would much rather prefer to encounter a bear, because a bear will never falsely accuse me of me trying to, get onto her, go onto her, and get with her and have my way and whatnot. Because once that happens, guilty or not, in a way, you're already dead.
Yeah, I mean,
accusation.
Go ahead for the slow people out there and go ahead and admit that there's a heavy dose of sarcasm in there with that, and you're just saying that to make a point, but you're not really more scared of a woman than a bear, point blank, right?
Well, no, I'm only scared to go to jail for something I didn't do, because it's happened to me before.
All right.
And not only me, I have a friend right now in Dallas. He's got 2 months there, and he's waiting. He is waiting for his court date, but he's illegally in the U.S., so he cannot be bounded out.
And look, I understand what you're going through is probably terribly traumatic. I would still rather be falsely accused of sexual assault than have a bear gnawing on my neck. It's not even close. Christy in Cleburne, you're on the James Show. Oh, a woman. What do you think?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. There's so many different variances. Is the bear brown, black? Is the man like scary, covered in blood? But I think the unspoken part that I don't hear women saying, that I feel as a woman, is a bear will only assault me once.
Because you'll be dead.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But he'll only do it once, whereas a man, depending on what kind of man, we don't know.
Wait, so you're making the case that men are worse than bears. Men are more dangerous to women than bears.
The potential for repeated assault, yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So I hear a victim talking to me right now. Something has happened to you. You don't normally think that from a rational antiseptic view. You're tainted. Something happened to you. Someone hurt you.
I think there's a lot of us out there.
I think there is too. I think that's a lot of what we're hearing is people, because once a man has already made you a victim, then what's a bear? You'd probably rather see a bear. See, that's probably a lot of what we're seeing online. A lot of the reason people are saying this, because they have, I don't want to say you have like PTSD, but there's some trauma echoing through, and you've attached that to men, and you're just not going to say nice things about men, period. I imagine.
I know that's not true. I have many male friends.
No, about individual men, you will say nice things, but as a group, there's been other guys that have come through and ruined it for us, is what I hear.
Well, I mean, sure, but I mean, come on, I'm 54 years old. Yeah, I'll take my chances there. Absolutely.
Well,
I have lived 54 years of life and have had 54 years of experiences. Like, yeah, what you're talking about. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sorry whatever happened to you happened to you. I'm sorry some guy came through and ruined it for the rest of us. I just like to reassure you that not all of us are worse than bears. Maybe your guy is, but I don't think Sean is.
That would be great if I could get to know some of these guys and then decide.
Right. All right. Well,
I mean,
you're a wounded animal, so you have all the excuses in the world. Thank you very much for calling, Christy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do one more. Sherry in Lone Oak, you're on the James Show. Would you rather meet a man or a bear?
Much rather meet a man.
Oh, see, not everybody hates us. Sherry still likes us. There's one. Hey. All right.
Well, if I meet a man, I mean, well, by nature, bears are predators. 75% of the bears are going to come after me. I feel like 75% of the men are not going to come after me.
Might buy you a drink, Sherry.
I can knee a guy in the groin. I can gouge an eye, palm of my hand, or heel of my palm to his nose, whatever. I don't think I could do that with a bear.
Right, that's kind of the ultimate finale to the debate here. Even if you did run into a belligerent guy who is intent on hurting you, you have a better chance of defending yourself against him than you do a bear. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.